actions are good. It's important that we take action. It's important that we make effort, but it is efforts and actions are useless if we don't have results. So we're talking today about building your best year ever. We've talked already about designing your best year ever, and design means nothing if it stays on a piece of paper. You need to now build that year, and these are a few tips that will help you to build your best year ever. This is our final video, and it might be a little longer. It has full points instead of the previous ones. The first thing I want to jump into today is executing the results. Make sure that you make that an approach that you take. You live by execution, by results. A lot of people execute with effort only. They try, so they're okay because they try. I call her today. Call her today was an objective, but it wasn't your result. Your result was you needed that contract signed. When you call her today, did she answer? Number one. Number two, did she agree to sign the contract? Did she send the contract back to you? If you got the contract back signed, that's your results. And that's the reason why you started the action in the first place. Actions are good. It's important that we take action. It's important that we make effort, but it is efforts and actions are useless if we don't have results. You need to execute for results. It will turn your year around because your results will build on top of results and on top of results, and it will give you the dream that you have dreamt about. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is make sure you make executing for results a principal part of your approach in 2022. Number two, I want you to make failure painful and success pleasurable. How do you do that? So one of the ways that I do that really is, so first of all, the whole idea here is that I just want to make sure that I'm going away from failure as much as possible, or at least not abandoning my goals as much as possible, and going for my goal and achieving my goal as much as possible. Now, in order to do that, I do several things, right? I sit down, sometimes in my meditation, I sit down and I imagine the difference between regret and success. The difference between regret and glory. I sit down and I think about it, and I'm like, this thing don't fit, this is where I will be. Whether this thing succeed, this is where I'll be. I do not dwell on where I will be if it fails. I dwell more on where I will be when it succeeds. So I think, if I imagine for a second, imagine this thing goes through. Imagine this thing happen for us. Imagine this thing, I become more, or imagine I get this thing that I'm wanting. What kind of life would I have? And I bask in the pleasure of it mentally for a second, because now what it is doing, it is associating a lot of pleasure to my success. When it reminded me of the pain, I bathed more in the pleasure of what it is that I want. But here's another practical way to really do this, right? This is the mental part. Mental is practical, okay? The mind has power. And sometimes when you do mental exercises, it has an impact on your behavior and everything. Other actions that I'll do, for example, to really associate more pleasure, more pain with failure and pleasure with pain, is I will go ahead and put a skin in the game. So if my decision is to become a broker this year, okay? What do I need to become a broker? Is there a broker class that I need to join? I go ahead and pay half of the money on the broker class. By paying half of the money on the broker class, even though it's 2 months from now, I have put a skin in the game. I have put a skin in the game because it means that if I don't go to the broker class, I could lose that money. Well, depending on the refund policy, right? So those things are important. If I made a commitment to go to the gym, I'm going to dedicate $200. Some people say, do not buy a lot of gym clothes unless you've gone to the gym for a month or two. No. I need skin in the game. I'll get the 1 year gym membership because I said I'm going for a year. I'm also going to buy $200-$300 worth of gym clothes so that if I do not go to the gym, every time I see these gym clothes, I'm there regretting because I spent all of this money on these gym clothes and I never used them. Or, every time the money draws from my account, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I need to go. You know what I'm saying? It is giving me that pain and even regret right now, even without the results being in. But on the other hand, I also try to book a reward. So I tell myself that, okay, your goal is to complete this project by October 2020, right? What do? I book myself a cruise, or I book myself a vacation in celebration of that project being completed. And I gave my wife or someone else I trust, my assistant or whoever, the power to be able to cancel that if that project is not fulfilled. So by that, I'm either setting up reward system that makes it pleasurable to succeed, or a system of loss. If I fail, I lose more. So giving me something, an impetus to keep moving forward away from failure so I don't lose, but towards success. So when I succeed, I get that vacation that I've already paid the money for. Okay, so it's important that we kind of do that. Give yourself something to look forward to and all of that kind of thing. It's very, very critical that you do that. Associate a lot of pain to your failure and associate a lot of pleasure to your success. Very important. We're all conditioned by pleasure and pain, and those things drive us in ways that we cannot even imagine. Third, I want you to remember the power of decision. The word decision, if you look at it, you break it down etymologically, a decision means to cut from. Scission, you know that scission? Incision? Decision is to cut from. Now, what you really need to do this year is to be able to divorce some things in order for you to move forward, okay? Cut some things out of your life. People, places, situations, things that you know usually will drag you back to those places that you do not want to be. Those type of people, things, and places, cut them out of your life. I like how Tony Robbins explained this with the story of the guy who went to invade Mexico. I don't know if it's facts or it's fiction, but the guy landed in Mexico with his armada of ships, disembarked, he and all of his army. And as soon as all of his army had disembarked, he set the ship on fire and the ship burned. There's no way to return. And because there is no way to return, we either conquer or we die. You need to create a conquer or die situation. You need to cut off your life jacket. You need to cut off your parachutes. You need to cut off anything that will give you a soft landing so that you have no other option. You either sink or swim. You either go forward or when you go backwards, you're gonna hit a really hard wall. Because that desperation of knowing that you have no way back, that your back is actually against the wall, that desperation of knowing that will drive you forward, will cause your creativity to well up, will cause your ingenuity to explode, and you'll be able to accomplish things beyond your wildest imagination. And so it's important that you burn the ships, so that you are in a place where you either conquer or die. Last and not the least, I want to talk about perseverance. It is important that you persevere through 2023. You show that you do not stop until you achieve what it is that you have set out to achieve. Persevere. In the voice of Dr. King, if you can fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. No matter what you do, do not stop. Keep moving somehow until you cross that finish line. It's not over until you win. Thank you for watching all of my videos on setting you up for success, on designing and building your best life ever. Hit my channel, subscribe button, subscribe. I am going to continue to produce great videos through the entire year. Share this video with someone who you know might benefit from this video, and hit the like button. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. Have a wonderful day.